Happy April Fools. But no jokes here. CityCast Philly has a packed calendar for this month. We've got recommendations to celebrate spring with a historic rose garden tour. There's a competition with a spin on the classic mac and cheese recipe, plus a special unveiling for Jackie Robinson Day. It's Wednesday, April 1st. I'm Trina Marie, and here's what Philly's doing in April. Welcome to CityCast Philly, and joining me for this fun episode is senior producer Abby Fritz and newsletter editor Siani Cologne. Hey, y'all.
Happy spring, everyone.
Hi, y'all.
We are so excited that you are listening to this episode. I know it's a bit of a change from the Wednesday politics episode, but every month we kind of get together and we run down some of the events and activities and places to eat in the city and ways to get civically engaged that we are excited about that's happening in the city. And we are the CityCast Philly team, the folks behind the daily podcast and newsletter that keeps you up to date on what's going on in this beautiful city. So if you want to stay connected to the work that we're doing here, there is a link to subscribe to the pod and the newsletter in our show notes for today.
And if you want to support the work we do, you can become a neighbor. You can find all the details about that at membership.citycast.fm. You're going to get a bunch of different perks. We put on events. Yeah, join our neighborhood.
Yeah, speaking of events, Abby, I know that our calendars are marked for Sunday, April 12th from 11 to 3 p.m. for the free Philadelphia Activities Fair. And what this is, we are teaming up with the group Join Philly, which is a local organization that helps Philadelphians connect to new friends and clubs and organizations that focus on civic life in the city. So there's going to be over 40 clubs, groups, and communities that are going to fill 3 floors of the Philadelphia Ethical Society. Have you guys ever been there?
I have been there once. I went there for an ecstatic dance event.
Ooh.
Yeah, which was fun. They do a lot of different stuff there.
What was surprising for me, because I was like, where are you guys located? They are right in Rittenhouse Square. It's like literally
perfect.
right there. It's the perfect spot. So this is your chance to meet us and some new people and learn all about what the city has to offer. This event is free, but we are asking for some RSVPs just so we know how many people are showing up. So you can click that link in the show notes. And so far, the committee of 70 is going to be showing up there. People's Budget Office, the free library is expected to come, and tons of book clubs, bike crews, and pickup sports groups, which I'm actually excited about.
So come through and make a new friend and hang out with them at Rittenhouse Square immediately after.
Right.
And find us. We'll have a table with some merch if you're interested in getting some CityCast Philly swag.
And I saw a little preview of it. It's nice stuff.
It's good.
Okay. What else are you guys looking forward to this April?
Yeah, I'm excited for a refresh. I love spring cleaning. I love this time of year when everything feels new and I can be mindful about the things I'm bringing into my space. So I'm excited to check out the first ever Rare flea market, and that's RAIR, which is an organization in Philly. It's an acronym for Recycled Artists in Residency. They're out in the Northeast in Holmesburg, and they work on changing the perception of waste. So a lot of creative reuse. I think they're most known for their residency program where they collaborate with artists from all over the world to provide them with recycled materials that can be used in their art practice. I've seen some shows at the Fabric Museum that was in collaboration with Rare and artists that were using Rare to source materials. Really cool stuff. They work out of a recycling company. It's like construction and demolition. And it's in the Northeast. Beyond working with artists, they also, do education work and they hold events. And this is going to be their first time putting on this like big market where they're going to sell recycled items. It's going to be like vintage stuff. They're going to have clothes, textiles, furniture, electronics, like anything you can think of. And the best part about all of it is that like it's been hand selected, it's been cleaned, they've done all of that. And it's all things that would have gone to the landfill. And this is going to happen on Sunday the 19th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Rare. The funds are going to go towards the organization's programming. And they wanted to make sure everybody remembers to bring your own bag, too, if you plan on buying some stuff.
This is really putting the phrase "one man's trash is another man's treasure" into practice.
Yes, exactly. How about you, Siani? What are you up to this month?
Well, Philly's really been stepping up its game leading up to the semi-quincentennial. Museums especially, they've been putting a lot of different exhibits to celebrate all these different well-rounded perspectives of Philadelphia and the United States over these 250 years. So one that I'm looking forward to checking out is the Forgotten Freedom American Assembly at 250th at the National Liberty Museum. Have you guys ever been there?
Yes, I was a chaperone on a fifth grade field trip once there. It was really cool.
Yeah, the last time I went to that museum was for a sixth grade field trip to put in perspective. So it's been a while. And I'm looking forward to coming back as an adult that can like fully appreciate everything. And now's really the time because they have 3 new exhibitions for this theme. So the first one is Showing Up Since 1776, which shows how people have protested and shaped civic life throughout these 250 years. The second one is In the Arena, which is focused on how sporting events and sports as a whole has become one of the most central places that Americans come and gather. I can definitely attest to that. My goal this year is to go to a game for every main sports team in the city, since I've only ever gone to Phillies games. And so far, I've been to 2 Flyers games and 1 Sixers game this year. They did not win any of the games I went to.
No.
But it was really cool to see just the differences and similarities in sports fandom. So this will kind of really dive deeper into why, this is such a central gathering place for people. And lastly, there's the Art of Assembly, which shows how art as a medium is used for connection and collective expression. So they have all sorts of things that are on view in the exhibit. They have like vintage Union posters. They have a custom-made robe for Muhammad Ali that he wore in one of his big fights. And they even have banners from Martin Luther King's March on Washington. So a lot of amazing historical artifacts to come and engage with. And if you can't make it this month, it's on view until August 2027. So definitely take advantage and stop by and see all this history.
Wow, this is amazing. And did you guys know that Muhammad Ali has ties to the Philadelphia area? He lived around here.
Really?
I had no idea.
Yes. Muhammad Ali owned a home and lived in West Philly in Overbrook Park.
Wait, that's so cool.
Yes. So I love this now another chance to celebrate Philly sports and Philly sports history. Well, now that it's spring, it is so great to see the sun again. And I am so energized. And I was reminded by a friend that I have 4 wheels in the basement. And when I say 4 wheels, I am talking about my roller skates.
Yes.
I am excited to join a new roller skating community over in West Philly. I'm going to hang out with the Skate Gang Philly because they are returning this April. The first meetup of the season happens this Friday, April 3rd, over at 5209 Parkside Avenue with DJ Nasty on the turntables. Let's keep our fingers crossed that the weather stays nice. But if you have never skated, and if you've been burning rubber since 1975, you can come out because all levels of experience are welcome. And that's what I love about the skating communities, especially ones that I've been skating with for a number of years now. It's all about family. It's all about community. And don't worry, even if you fall, which could happen, pick yourself back up. It humbles you, but pick yourself back up and keep on rolling. These are some things that you might want to bring just to keep you safe and hydrated. You want to have your own skates, some like taller socks, so like not ankle socks, water, snacks, wrist guards, knee pads, if you want to be a little extra cautious. And I would say bring a towel, and the organizers encourage you to bring a chair just so you can like have a place to like rest if you need a break. And most importantly, bring a good spirit. If you're a rollerblader, you're welcome as well. This group is meeting this Friday. And if you can't meet this Friday, they are meeting again April 10th, 17th, 24th over at Parkside Evans Rec Center.
I've only skated in the roller rinks, and when that right track finally comes on and you just get really in the groove, then suddenly you're skating like a pro. And then once it's done, then I'm hitting the wall again. So if I go to this, you're going to need to put me in bubble wrap, maybe a helmet while you're at it.
Well, that's actually interesting that you said that, Stanley, because you might think that you're going to be skating on a rink, and this is actually not a skating rink. You're going to be skating on a tennis court.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be a little bit different in terms of like friction and things like that. So just be mindful of that. It's definitely a different, like the surface on which you skate is going to be a lot different. All right. Are you guys ready to eat?
Oh, yeah.
After all that skating, yeah.
Yeah. Where are you going this month?
You know, I think I'm finally going to try Little Walter's, which is that Polish restaurant out in East Kensington. And I haven't tried a ton of Polish food. You know, I've had pierogies, but I do really want to kind of explore more of the cuisine. And I mean, the menu looks so good. So you know, I'm going to go for the seafood. I've got to try the smoked monkfish. They have a pear ice dessert, which seems like some sort of frozen, maybe water ice adjacent situation.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a pretty affordable tasting menu too. It's $65 per person. So that already caught my attention. But they're also holding a monthly gluten-free night now, which they announced last month. It originally started as a one-off night back in February. The chef there has a friend who's celiac, and so he wanted to hold this event to try to create a gluten-free pierogi for her. And it was apparently so popular that now it's going to be a monthly event, which is super cool.
Yeah, that is very cool.
It's nice to see an event like this for the community, especially since I'm gluten sensitive, and sometimes if I'm doing bad in a week, my stomach will hurt pretty bad. So it's nice to have an explicit night for things like this. So it's going to be on the 14th. You can book a reservation online on their website, and they're going to have things like celiac-friendly kielbasa and pierogies. They also have like a rolled cabbage brisket situation that sounds really incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And then they didn't announce the desserts, but I do like doing desserts is hard to do gluten-free sometimes, so I'm really excited to see like what they can come up with. So check it out. I'm definitely gonna go, if not this month, definitely in the future.
Love it. Where are you going, Siani?
Yeah, for me, mac and cheese is one of my favorite side dishes.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
You know, any gathering, Thanksgiving, I'm piling on that mac and cheese on the plate. But it is a dish that if you can't consume dairy for whatever reason, you'll have to skip out on gatherings. But this month, you can see who makes the best dairy-free dish at this month's Vegan Mac and Cheese Bake-Off.
Whoa.
Philly really loves to compete. There was a chili cook-off like just a few months ago. So now it's like, we're bringing the mac and cheese. Mm-hmm. Someone else needs to pick another side to have a challenge with next. But this one will be at the Rotunda on April 20th, beginning at 4:20. If you know, you know.
Yep.
So if you happen to have the munchies that day or just want to eat good food, this is the place for you. There's going to be 3 categories to compete in: traditional, innovative, and dessert. So I'm really curious about that last
mac
one.
And cheese. Oh, I don't know. I am a strict traditionalist.
Yeah.
Like I'm even kind of like, I don't know about the vegan because I've tried. I've tried it, y'all. I've tried mac and cheese to make it for everyone, but sometimes I just gotta put the real stuff in.
This will be interesting to see,
It's
like
hard.
who finds that right substitution and make it work.
Right, and that's the key. Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like maybe like a vegan cream cheese is like a base. As a base cheese could be really good. And that maybe even could play into the dessert a little bit, like cinnamon, vegan cream cheese. But I don't know.
Okay,
you know?
I see the vision with the
Yeah.
cinnamon now. Okay,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Okay, maybe I stand corrected on that.
I was really skeptical in that last category because I've
Yeah,
never heard
right.
it in dessert form. So we'll see for ourselves. And if you're listening and have some ideas, you have until April 13th to sign up to compete. And just know you have to make enough for 100 small portions. So start plotting that grocery list and budgeting. The event is free to attend, but any donations will go to support Food Not Bombs, which regularly distributes free food and resources in West and South Philly.
Amazing.
Oh, well, if you're going to be over in West Philly, you might as well try the new coffee shop, Little Bean. This is the latest addition to Baltimore Avenue, and it's a new coffee shop from the team behind Cleo Bagels. And it's really cute. It's a BYB, bring your own bagel.
Oh,
So you can
cool.
go right next door to grab a bagel and then get some coffee. It's cute, right? And then I was looking at the menu, and it's got, things that we all know: drip coffee, espressos, lattes, cortados, which, Abby, I gotta say, you taught me that.
Oh,
You
yeah.
put me on a cortado.
I love a cortado.
But I don't know if you know about this. They have a special, it is called Apple Thing Latte. House-made apple cider, caramel. Apples are coming from the Three Springs Fruit Farm, a PA farm. It does contain some dairy, but it has cinnamon, cardamom, and nutmeg.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Now, it's definitely, I wouldn't say this is a spring drink. It sounds like more fall, but I like that comfort. Since we were talking about comfort foods, I still do like comfort foods in the springtime.
We're in spring, but there's still some of those like wintry fall flavors lingering. So get them while you can before they're
Yeah.
gone. And then we're in the land of citrus for the rest of the warm months.
And that's your favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Up next, we've got some free stuff to do and ways to give back this month when we come back. All right, we've got some recommendations for free things to do this month.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of talk about third spaces lately. Sometimes you need a place to exist that isn't at your job or house. So think about people like me who's working from home most of the time. I am tired of looking at these walls, y'all. I need
I
somewhere
feel
else
you.
to be.
I do feel that.
Oh, yeah.
So luckily, Ellie and Bird in Port Richmond recently announced its Third Spaces Thursdays, where the cafe is extending its operating hours until 8 p.m. So there's, no agenda, just chill on your own or with a friend. There might be nights where they'll host special events if you want a more structured reason to gather. This is a really great addition because I know we previously talked on a pod about the need for alcohol-free spaces to go after work. So this is another option to add to the list. And if you're looking to brush up on your language skills, the cafe also hosts Club de Cafecito, a Spanish language exchange, every last Thursday of the month. So, sal de su casa todos los jueves.
That's so cool. Oh, I love this. I love seeing spaces open up to include the community in as many ways as they possibly can. It's wonderful to see like how much potential there is for community in at these different businesses and organizations.
Okay, Siani, I've got another event for you if you want to stay outside and get some walking in. The Philadelphia Chinatown Development Corporation, they are celebrating their 60th anniversary this year. And to do so, they are hosting a Chinatown walking tour. And this is going to be really cool because it's going to be an immersive experience and you're going to get a chance to explore the history of this neighborhood. The tour begins at the iconic Friendship Gate at 10th and Arch Streets. You can't miss it. And you'll learn about the ways that, this organization really has held it down for decades at this point to protect and preserve this neighborhood. I remember, I don't know if you remember this, Abby, but early on in CityCast Philly existence, we had an episode about like how there have been a lot of Chinatowns that have been disappearing from a lot of American cities. And so it is so great that we're getting a chance to see and learn how organizers have been successful with keeping and protecting their neighborhood. So this tour is free. And it is limited, though, to about 20 people or so. So you want to make sure that you RSVP ASAP. The next one is going to be happening on Saturday, April 18th. And then there's another one Saturday, April 25th. Both are from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. I went on a walking tour in February and definitely want to make sure you have good walking shoes.
Good reminder. Good reminder. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be out walking a lot as the weather continues to warm up. And it also means that a lot of the flower gardens and spaces in our city are going to start opening up. That happens in April generally. So I'm definitely going to head over to Wick in Germantown, which is the oldest rose garden in the country. That's what they claim.
Oh, wow.
And they have programming year round, but winter is limited hours and there's some things that aren't open. So this week, the house and grounds are reopening, and then their usual hours for the spring season are going to be Tuesday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. They're also going to have walking tours available Thursday through Saturday from 12 to 4. So you can go tomorrow and see if you can catch a tour.
That's so cool. Okay. The next section I really enjoy learning more about is the ways that we can actually get civically engaged in the city. And I kind of had like a different approach this month to this category. It got me thinking about community advocacy and the power of our voices. So you might remember earlier this year that the mural that honors the Philadelphia Stars and the Negro League baseball teams was taken down and people were pissed.
Oh, yeah.
The story behind that, though, is because the home that the mural was on, there was some like roof and wall damage. And so part of the building actually collapsed. So there needed to be repairs. And so it actually resulted in removing half of the mural. But Parkside neighbors and Mural Arts Philadelphia are bringing the mural back. And so you can be a part of this free event on April 15th from 11 to 2 p.m. Head over to 44th Street and Parkside Avenue. So it's around Parkside and Belmont. And they are going to unveil this reimagined mural.
Oh, wow.
This is also happening on annual Jackie Robinson Day. So it just makes sense. And so the reason why I wanted to highlight this event is because it really speaks on the spirit of Philadelphia. We get to come together through our advocacy, which even got the mural to begin with initially. And then we saw that it was being disrupted and we worked together to bring it back. If you remember, we actually talked about this in a recent episode that we did with Executive Director of Mural Arts Philadelphia, Jane Golden. So you can listen back to that episode as well. So make sure you come out April 15th.
Speaking of community coming together and staying outside, April is Earth Month. So I'll be focused on not just being in the outdoors, but giving back to the outdoors. April 11th is the annual Philly Spring Cleanup. On this day, there's a bunch of volunteer opportunities across the city to spruce up our streets, parks, and communities. You can sign up for an event that's near you or help organize one. And organizers will have access to additional supplies from the city. So if you need bags or rakes or coordinating pickup for everything that you clean up, they got your back. And just to give an example of the impact, last year, there were 200 volunteers who came out in the rain and helped remove nearly like 2,000 tires from Tacony Creek Park.
Oh, wow.
And this was a really big, successful event because, mind you, there were already like 4,000 tires that were estimated to be there. The city had already taken out a good chunk. And while we do have these city services that do help maintain our parks and try to keep our streets clean, it is a big effort, and we can't just do Band-Aid fixes. It has to be a cultural change in our city for like everyone needs to do their part and care of like, you know, if someone is dumping or just littering, you know, not to kind of normalize that. So it's nice that events like this, an event like that one, it was a successful collaboration between a city and Philadelphians who care. And hopefully we continue that mindset and we can stop referring to Philly as Philadelphia because we're actually making an effort to, you know, show we care about where we live and shutting down any behavior that's trying to do otherwise.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. I agree. I kind of had a similar thought for this section, Siani. I was thinking about the environment and the spraying. So I'm going to be planting some trees with the Philly Tree People this month. This is a local volunteer-led nonprofit that works to not just plant, but also maintain the trees that are in the Fishtown, Kensington area of the city. They also do lots of like education work around the benefits of having trees in cities. And so they're kicking off the spring tree planting season on April 19th at 9 a.m. You can head over to 2464 Tulip Street. You don't
That's
need
cute. Tulip Street.
Tulip Street is a cute. You're gonna plant trees on Tulip Street.
Yeah.
You don't need to have any like experience doing something like this. You're also gonna get breakfast and lunch provided if you come out to volunteer your time, which is wonderful. The group did mention that they're looking for people who have trucks who could volunteer to help out. So if you want to volunteer, you can go to their website, phillytreepeople.org, to register. Yeah, it seems like a good way to give back.
And if you want to, you know, help continue to make our tree canopy grow in the city, I definitely recommend becoming a tree tender. There's a bunch of different tree tender groups across the city and our suburbs through PHS. They'll have really detailed trainings. I did one a few years ago and learned a lot about trees and tree care. I am always having a sharp eye on my own tree in front of my house and just learned a lot about that and being able to help my other neighbors take care of theirs. The trainings aren't free, but usually the tree tender group that is within your community, they can usually cover the cost of a training. That's what happened for me. So I definitely recommend going on their site, see which groups already exist in your neighborhood, and consider signing up for a training so you can really step up that level of care.
Okay, you convinced me because there is a beautiful tree that sits out in front of my home as well. And I love when my neighbors decorate it during the holidays. But at the same time, it is really like lifting up the sidewalk. So it's like creating, like the roots are creating that like, you know, little hill on the sidewalk. So, this is great. Thank you so much for these recommendations, Siani and Abby.
Thanks, Trinae.
Happy spring.
That's all for us today here on CityCast Philly. If you enjoyed this episode about things to do in the city this April, share this with a friend. Also, rate the show, leave us a review, and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to sign up for our morning newsletter to learn more about what else Philly's talking about. And don't forget, you can support the show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Philly neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye.